in the world of sales, how can you tell if you're an immature salesperson or you work with an immature salesperson? And why does it matter? I gotta fix my lace. I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Honolulu, Oahu, on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you and your sales process. So here's the thing. If you meet with your buyer and for whatever reason it goes wrong and you don't close a deal, if you blame the buyer, you're an immature salesperson, right? Because if everything went well, you went in and you had a process, you set an agenda, you had a strategy, you did everything you were supposed to do, things didn't go well, how could you be mad at the buyer for not doing stuff and being like, see how it doesn't make sense? Like, you can say like, hey, I spent a ton of time, energy, and effort, right? But like, the way that you really got to look at it is like, I did everything I was supposed to, I gave them my information, and now I'm able to walk away from that call and know that everything's okay. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. But what you're going to find is when somebody's really immature in the sales process, they scream, they yell, they call that person names, when in all realities, it was their fault. They got to raise their hand and go, hey, it was me. I caused the problem. I caused the issue. It was something that I did. It wasn't really the buyer. Okay, so if you work with one of these guys, they typically get mad. They typically break things. They typically shake things. They typically call the person the name. Hey, I met this guy, and they grumble and they grunt. And I'm going to give you a word of advice. Stay away from this person. They're toxic. They're going to bleed off on you. You're going to start developing some of those traits and some of those strategies, and you're going to start finding yourself getting really frustrated after a sell. If I go to a call or I meet with a buyer or I meet with a company and they say, hey, Scott, we want your services, I don't go and freak out and get mad if they choose not to do it, because I did my job up front. Right? They're the ones that lost out. I'm going to put them up in the follow-up process. I'm going to do what I got to do to get back in front of them. And not all the time do people buy from me. I am not a 100% closer. I'm going to admit it. I'm not a 100% closer. I don't know very many people who are. I don't know of anybody. I don't know if anybody's 100% closer. So that's how you know if you know somebody who's an immature salesperson and why it matters. So if you've never been to my channel before, you've got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it every time I send out a video, right there. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out a video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Aloha.